Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana Randy. I hope you subscribe and stick around. Today I wanted to talk about my disability. What I have is called muscular dystrophy. It is not MS, they are similar but very different also. So it's muscular dystrophy or MD, which I will probably refer to it as in this video. Before I go any further, this is a microphone, just thought I'd address it, and the other part is attached to my cell phone. So if you're wondering, it's a microphone. Okay, moving on. One of the first things I noticed about MD was I walked on my tiptoes, and it became really obvious that it was different from others because I took dance that year, and it was very hard to do the heel tap kicks or whatever because my heel cords are short, so they don't go to like 90 degrees. Like my feet don't go 90 degrees; they go like 90 degrees. They go like 45 or something. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so yeah, and then stairs got harder over time, and walking, I fell a lot when I was walking. Like so often, I've scraped my knees more times than anyone I know. Like it's ridiculous. Yeah, so that was another thing I noticed. And when walking became too exhausting, going to the wheelchair became the next step because it gave me more energy and allowed me to better enjoy life, which is something that has helped me so much in being independent and still getting around. So it's been wonderful for that. I'm going to get into a little bit of science here. Don't click off. It'll be real quick. So boys have an X and a Y chromosome, and girls have a X and X chromosome. So it is the X chromosome that is affected. So for boys, you only have one. There's no other option. So you have it guaranteed if it's in your genetics or whatever. But for girls, you have two X chromosomes. So it's supposed to use the one that's good or healthier, not necessarily bad, but it's just not as healthy, which is why I have what I have, because I'm working 97% off the one that's affected and 3% off the one that isn't. That is why I'm in a wheelchair. So I'm technically a carrier manifesting symptoms of it, which means that I have it, but it's a little confusing. So anyway, yeah, that was my science spiel for the day or whatever. Yeah, so that is essentially how and why I have muscular dystrophy. One thing I completely forgot to mention was I was walking up until I was like 16 or 17, and I've been in a wheelchair ever since, and I'm almost 26, so that is like 9 years. Can't believe I forgot to say that. So I mentioned genetics before, about people with MD having it in their genetic makeup or whatever. So it first showed up in my Nana, which is my mom's mom, and she is only a carrier. My mom is also a carrier, and my mom had a brother who had MD. He was a boy, so he had MD, and he passed away a year before I was born, which is another cool story, which I will share another time. Yeah, so because my mom's a carrier, there was a chance that if I was a boy, there was like an extremely high chance that I would guaranteed have it, muscular dystrophy. But because I was a girl, they said I would be fine and walk my whole life. But obviously that is not the case. So yeah, girls can manifest symptoms as if they have it the exact same way that boys do. And my mom's younger sister is totally fine and does not carry this at all, and nobody else in my family does either. So yeah, that's how it's in my genetics. One thing you may not know about those with disabilities is that it can be really lonely at times, and even if you're connected to other people who relate to you, it doesn't always feel comforting or helpful. In fact, I'm on a group online, and I love helping others and sharing my experience and helping others on their journey with a disability, but it doesn't really feel very beneficial to me personally. If you're someone who deals with a disability or knows someone who does, you understand that this world does not make it easy for those with disabilities and who are in a wheelchair. It really is not made for people like us. There have been a lot of changes in the last years that have been very helpful, but we still have a long ways to go to make things truly accessible. And not everyone knows what that really means unless you know firsthand what that actually is. I have had many, many years of experience dealing with this, about being in a wheelchair and a disability and all of that. So if you think I'm good at dealing with it, it's because I've had years of experience. And I have learned that this is how God wants me to be. And there's a reason and a purpose behind it. And I trust him, even though I don't always trust him. As humans, it's easy to take that control and want to have it for ourselves, when really he's the best person to have that control, and he knows what's best and what we need and what is good for us. So even though dealing with a disability is difficult, I'm sure there is a reason and a purpose behind it. I think one of the main reasons it is hard to relate to others with disabilities is because I have hope in God, and that one day I will be with him in eternity, and I will no longer be in a wheelchair or in any pain or anything like that in heaven. And it can be hard to relate to those who are hoping in science and trusting in a cure that may never come, and that is just not where I'm putting my hope in. If you have any questions about my disability or about me, I would love to answer your questions. You can send them to my email, which will be linked in the description, or you can comment below in this video. Thanks for watching.